You know, every time Cisco comes out with a new iOS or they come out with a new version of the CCENT and CZNA exams, I always think, is this when the enable password finally gets whacked? You know, the guy in the members only jacket goes to the bathroom, Meadow can't parallel park the car, and the enable password just fades to black. This is it. Well, it's still around, and using either one of these is optional. Now, unless we have users connecting via Telnet, we saw that in the last video, and I definitely didn't forget about that lab. We're going to get back to that, but we need to discuss these two passwords that can serve as our enable password. We have the aptly named enable password, and then we have enable secret. So we've got two different passwords, and we better know the differences between the two for the exam. So on the live equipment, what I've done is called up router 1, which is the router we're telnetting to in this particular lab. And we've got some terms here or some options we're not going to use for enable in this course, but we're going to use them in future courses. Last resort and use TACACS. Password and secret are the ones that we're particularly interested in right now. We're going to start with secret. We'll start with password. And again, I would just leave the options alone because we need to know that by default, the enable password is unencrypted. That's one major problem we have with the enable password. So we're just going to go ahead and set that. And it even mentions to you right here, I love this, the unencrypted in huge uppercase, clear text. Then it explains to you what unencrypted means, enable password. So they're doing everything they can to let us know this is unencrypted. So let's just go ahead and put in CCENT for that. And nothing much going on there. We've got an enable password of CCENT. What I'll do when we bring the equipment back up is go back to user exec mode and then try to get back to enable mode. So let's wait for that to save. And we're going to go all the way back out to the console. Now I don't have a console password on this one. We did that on router 3. So now I'm in user exec mode, and when I try to go up a notch, that's what happens. I got caught. I typed in CCENT, and I was immediately put into privileged exec mode. Again, your password is never going to appear. Now, so far so good, but the problem is that's going to appear in clear text, which the router told us at least 300 times. And if we take a look at the top right here of our config, enable password CCENT. So we probably don't want that. And it is actually referred to semi-laughingly as the over-the-shoulder network attack. But people have gotten into routers like that. They just look over your shoulder, look at the config. Could be a friend of yours. Could be a coworker. Who knows? And they're looking over your shoulder when you use something. It's like, oh, okay, I think I'll try to telnet into that router tonight and see what I could do. Well, we have a method of encrypting that password. But before we do that, let's use the enable secret password and set that to CCNA. To the bottom of it here. And that's it. So what's going to happen when I go out to the enable prompt, again, the user exec prompt, I should say, is now in effect we have two passwords for the same thing. We have the enable password set and we have the enable secret set. So there's got to be an order of things here. We'll do a show config here. It will not surprise you to see that the enable secret is encrypted. So far, so good. Let's do an escape there. I'll go all the way out just to remind you that this doesn't have anything to do with the console. And I'll put in CCENT. And it doesn't work. The CCENT password worked just, a few minutes ago. So what happened? When you have an enable secret password and an enable password set, enable secret always takes precedence. So I put in CCNA and bang, I'm in, no problem at all. So, why do we still have the enable password around that? That's, of course, the first question is like, why do we have two passwords for the same mode? This is, the official word is backwards compatibility. Some apps want that password to be unencrypted. I have personally never run into one that did, but there you go. So it is for backwards compatibility. and some other technical Cisco reasons we're not going to get into in this discussion. We just want to stay on the passwords. But again, when we have the enable secret, we have the enable password. The enable secret always takes precedence. I wanted to put up on the board what happens if you wait too long to enter the enable password, or if you try too many enable passwords, if you're just trying to guess. And if all 3 attempts fail, because you get 3 tries, all that happens is that you get put back in the user exec prompt. It doesn't lock you out of the router by default, anything like that, or set off alarms. And also, if you wait too long to enter the enable password, then this is what happens. You just get a little message that says timeout expired, and that is it. Now, of course, we saw this in the config, and I've got it on the board for you as well. And just a quick reminder, and I know this is a duh moment, you're going to throw something at the screen when I say this, but never attempt to actually enter the hash result for the password. If you try to enter the enable secret $ONGE $OYX, you are not going to get in. That's the hash result. And I don't think too many of us are going to just look at that secret value and determine that that means CCNA, but never try to enter this for the actual password because it will not work. Pardon me. What we're going to do on the very next video, just want to take a few minutes there to review that particular concept. We're definitely not going back to the rollover cable. What we are going to do is go back to our Telnet lab. We're going to go over to router 3 and start telnetting from there. Now that we have an enable secret and an enable password on R1, everything should be fine. Or is it? We'll see on the next video. I'll see you there.